Hey, hey, good morning, and welcome to Spiritual Vacancy, where we are here to help fill your spiritual void. My name is Brooke Ann. I'm a psychic medium and a Reiki practitioner, and I am with my partner in crime, my lovely.
Hey there. Hey. I'm Mona Lee, energy healer for mind, body, and spirit. And I just love all this stuff. And that's why we're here to just enlighten our listeners of what types of things that are available out there. And I am so excited. Woohoo! Who do we have today, Brooke Ann?
Today we have Diane Young, and she is a aura photographer. She also does all the psychic huge events in Wilmington, and that's where I actually met her as I reached out to her a couple years ago to be a part of her huge event that she puts on for psychics, mediums, tarot, like you name it, she works it too. And it's been a pleasure knowing her ever since. So thank you, Diane, for letting us interview you today and being here.
Well, I thank you both for thinking of me and reaching out to me. Thank you, Mona. Thank
Yes.
you, Brooke. And looking forward to this little interview.
Yeah, so Diane, so you are an aura photographer?
Oh, yeah, that I started that in 2016 when I acquired the system. And so at this point, I've worked with hundreds of people. And but yeah, that's just one of the little things I do. I kind of wear several hats.
What else do
Um,
you do?
I do, well, you mentioned the events called New Earth Consciousness Expo. And I do two of those events a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And I do them here in Wilmington. And I've been doing them since 2016. When I first started out with that, I had a couple of partners. And then you know what happened in 2020. So that kind of put a kibosh on things. And one of my partners moved away to Florida. And the other one got a real job. I like to say she got a real job.
Mm.
And then I just decided 2 years later I'm going to start doing this again, and I just picked it back up and kind of ran with it. I changed the name of the thing, and anyway, so yeah, so since 2022 I started doing them twice a year again.
That is so wonderful. I think that there's so many people that are so interested in really getting to know not only themselves, but what is available to them. And as far as just having a gathering of people and community, and that was a perfect time to get restarted, wasn't it? To have, because people were during that time in hiding and tucked away, and there's
Yes.
nothing like community because it's just a natural thing for people to be with each other, and especially in the growth that we're going through, the spiritual growth that's happening in our planet right now. And it is fascinating. So, what do you find is your favorite type of vendors that you're having at the events? Like who's serving, who's showing up?
Well, I don't really have any favorites. I really enjoy everybody, and I know that one of my purposes in this life is to network and to connect people with people and to
Mhm.
promote everybody.
Mhm.
So I was always that person. So let me just say that in 2006 I bought a metaphysical store here in Wilmington. I knew nothing about any of this stuff. I mean, I was obviously I knew there were psychics and there were mediums, but I didn't know anything about all of the metaphysical stuff that goes with it. And I found myself buying this store totally wet behind the ears. And once I got in there, I was like, wow, there's a lot to learn. I better buckle, get in there. And I would have 5 or 6 or 8 books on my kitchen table. I was reading them all at the same time, trying to catch up to everybody else. Well, I found it very kind of easy to the information just kind of went in, and I was like, wow, it was like I've done it before. And then I started learning about, well, I probably did. I probably did
Mhm.
do it before. So yeah, so I had that store for like 5 years and I met so many amazing people in this community. I'm going to try not to cry.
Oh,
Sorry.
no,
Um,
don't apologize.
yeah, so I am very grateful for growing through that and getting to where I am now. So I am also in the process right now of reinventing myself again.
Mhm.
So um, I don't know what's going to come out the other end, but we're going to see. So there's probably going to be some interesting things
That's wonderful. And
coming in the
I can tell
future.
you at your events, the energy there is amazing and it feels so good when I do your events because I've done three of them so far. And Mona,
Mhm.
she does like she promotes everybody and puts us out there and hypes us all up and makes us feel good at the events. And she gives me an outlet to do a public mediumship demonstration to get more clients to me or more people know me. So it's just been such a an amazing experience for me and even to get to know you or, you be on this part of my journey with me, Diane, is great. And I'm glad you're like reinventing yourself.
Mhm.
Because I think we can always do that at any time. There's no
Mhm.
need to
Right.
just stay where you're at. You can always grow and move. And what I love for you is I didn't realize you didn't know anything about like the metaphysical store and you just was like, you just saw it, was like, I want it. I'm gonna do this.
So what happened was I moved here in 2004 from Phoenix. I didn't know anybody here. I moved here with a partner. We are still very good friends. We're not a couple any longer. We are actually roommates. We live together in the same home, but we get along really well as far as, as friends. He came out here for work. So he just told me, do whatever you want to do. I just want you to be happy. Just settle in and figure it out. Well, I met these two ladies about a year into living here, and they told me about the store, Visions and Dreams. And so I went there, and then I started taking workshops there and started learning a little bit. And then one day I walked in, and the owner asked me if I wanted to buy her store. And I was like standing there going, well, wow, who wouldn't want to own this amazing place? Because it was so sweet. And I wound up saying yes. Even though I went to a group of gentlemen called I think their business is called SCORE. They're retired businessmen and they give out free advice to people who are looking to buy a new business or get into something new. I took him all the paperwork she gave me and he told me, do not do this, run away.
Mm.
That's what he
Oh,
told me. He said, this is
Wow.
money loser, don't do this.
Wow.
I walked out of there in shock, but I still felt like my guides, I guess, pulling me, like, you're doing this. And so I wound up doing it. And then that store, within a couple of years, I had it supporting me, supporting the business. It was doing really well, but it was because I took the steps forward to create things there. Lots of workshops, lots of little mini fairs I would do every month. I would have 4 or 5 people, readers, in my store pretty much every other Saturday. Then it turned into every Saturday.
nice.
And that really drew, and every time I did those, people came in off the street because I put street signs out and they would be like, I didn't even know you were here. So yeah, it was just blossomed like a beautiful flower, is all I can say.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the name of the
Visions and Dreams, it was
Visions
called.
and dreams. I love that. And how when you had walked in there, not even knowing that you were going to be doing that, but then really following what I'm seeing is that you have really followed your dharma, living your truth, living what really felt good to you, even if people were on the other side going, no, you don't want to do this. It's a money loser. But you were listening to your own heart and your own self, and you did it. And not knowing, but yet it was something, wasn't it? From another lifetime before, maybe, or something that was innately already inside of you, inside of your wisdom. And That is so wonderful that you did that. And did you do your aura photography there? Because I had gotten an aura reading
Uh-huh.
before.
Uh-huh.
Fascinating. When you see the
Yeah.
colors come out from the inside of a person,
Right.
and they all represent different things. So,
Yes.
can you share a little bit more about that modality that you do as well?
Well, certainly. In fact, I have a lady come into my home in about an hour because she
Oh,
called me the other day and she told me she found me through a yoga studio that I did. I'll go around town and I'll take my system to different locations and then they'll book me in for a day and then bring in their clients and I've been doing that for several years now. I find that everybody really enjoys it. So my system is a biofeedback system. It's on my laptop. It has a plate that you put your hand on. And when you place your hand on that plate, you start seeing on my laptop screen a live view of the colors moving in and the colors changing. And it also shows your chakras, which I find is the most fascinating part of the system because you can get a real good look inside of your energy system inside the body as well as outside with the aura, but it goes in there and it reads several different things. So it produces a 15-page report that I go over with you in detail. And then once we're all finished, it takes only really about 20 minutes. And once we're all done, I collapse that into a PDF and I send it off in an email to you so you get it right away.
Oh, that's a lot. 15 pages?
It's 15 pages and it's got graphs in there and explanations about what the graphs mean. But there is a lot of verbiage in there that explains about the colors, what appears above your head, to the left of you, to the right of you, below your feet, and then down the center of your body. So all those, it explains everything in detail about what
Wow.
those colors mean and I'm going to say that this system is super accurate because I always ask the person when I finish, how did that feel? Did that resonate? And I'm going to say 98% of the time, that thing was spot on, So
It's really fascinating. I swear you were in Myrtle Beach at one point, weren't you?
yes, I was. Yes.
Yes, and I had come in with one of my best friends, and he had gotten the reading alongside with me, and then I know it was you.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to see you in person again. And I had all green coming out of me, just all green.
You were totally green. Awesome.
Totally, completely green. And I thought, oh wow, that was fascinating. When I read the descriptions of it, it really did resonate. And we both turned out totally differently. He was all yellow, so
Oh, yeah. He was
it,
very much, yellows are intellectual and they're very sunny and bright,
Mhm.
where greens are also intellectual, but they're healers, natural born healers,
Mhm.
good communicators.
Mhm. Nice.
But people always ask me, do your does your aura change? And I said, absolutely. It's a living energy field that surrounds you. It depends what you're going through. What's going on in your life is going to affect this field out here. And what's in this field is going to affect what's inside of you.
Right.
So it all works together.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
what would be like the craziest color that you saw or was unexpected? Or is there one time where you're like, whoa, I don't see that color that much on people?
I would say that would be on myself because every time I'm going to do a session or groups or whatever, I always test this, make sure it's running right. So I always do my own self and I go, what? I look at the thing and I go, well, I don't feel like that really. But then when I really sit and think about it, I'm like, that was pretty accurate. So, but the one color that doesn't come up very often is red. And red is a lot of passion, a lot of it could be anger, it just depends. But I don't see reds very often. I usually see greens, blues, and yellows. Those are the three very, you know, for lack of a better word, popular colors. Lately, I've been coming out indigo,
Oh,
which has to do with the third eye, so
yes.
um and spirit, being spiritual. And so I've been on my spiritual path for quite some time now, but it feels like it gets deeper and deeper as you move through life,
Definitely.
especially if you resonate with it and you want to kind of go down that path. It'll be right there for you.
Absolutely. It's an energy that like attracts like, right? And then the
Right.
purples
That's
that you're
right.
seeing more of is I feel like we are ascending on this process right now and ascending on this earth into a higher consciousness and a higher state. And that indigo representing the third eye, right? Or the crown chakra is just absolutely fascinating to see more and more of that. I have a question that's really coming out so loudly in my head right now, as far as like the young people that are on our earth right now, like the or the star seeds, rather, the star seeds. And that I don't even know, I'm not sure, specifically, but do you find that a certain generation or a certain age group of people that are coming in more with these colors that you may not have seen in the past years ago when you started, but now
Um,
with the shifts that are happening, what are you noticing?
well, I was noticing that people's auras are tinier now.
Hmm.
So one of the graphs on in the program tells me how big your aura is, how far out it goes by percentage. So most people, I'm not kidding you, prior to 2020, people's auras were like 70%, 80%, and now they're like 30,
Hmm.
40. So I think people are getting more, pulling themselves inward more, maybe, which
Okay.
is causing their aura to kind of envelop closer to the body. I'm just guessing at this. I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Right.
intuitively, this is what I'm picking up is happening with the mass consciousness.
It's almost like
Hmm.
COVID changed everybody because it did kind of, you know?
Major, major.
That's interesting. It shows up in the auras too, where everybody's kind of more isolated almost than.
Right. Oh, and there's another thing. There's another graph in the program that tells me where your physical being is vibrating. So we're electrical, magnetic beings, made of light and plasma. We're basically plasma beings that are trapped inside a human vessel. Okay.
Mhm.
And so this system will tell me where you're vibrating on there from all the way up to 100,000 kilohertz. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. Most people now are shooting way up high on that chart. And I think it has to do with anxiety.
Mm.
Mhm.
They're like, they don't know which way is up sometimes. They don't know which way to turn. And that happens with me a lot. I mean, I tested myself twice this morning, and my vibratory bars were all the way up in the 800,000 range. And what this system says is that is way too high. You need to ground yourself more.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
And that's probably the most difficult part to balance, because you're balancing your physical with your mental and your emotional all at once.
Mm.
That creates that graph. And I'll tell people, whoa, look at this chart even says you're vibrating too high. And I have to explain to everybody too. I'm not saying like we all want to vibrate and raise our vibration and ascend, right? That's the purpose of being here. We're here to ascend. And so I tell them that's not the vibration I'm talking about. I'm talking about your physical being,
Mhm.
you know? So and then I just give people ideas or tips to take away with them to
Mm.
maybe get more of a balance in their system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do my best to help people. That's another one of my purposes, I guess. Being a Virgo, we're of service. What can we say?
You definitely are. Definitely
That's
are of
right.
service.
Yeah,
What would be something that you love the most about what you do?
just that.
Yeah.
Connecting with people, connecting with community. It's always been super important to me, even before I got on my spiritual journey. I would want to just be with people, you
Yeah.
know, be there and just experience everything, you know.
You definitely are living your life's purpose because you are so good at bringing people together to, you know, put them in the room together and it feels amazing. Like
Right.
everybody's so positive that's around you or loving or caring. Like you walk into the room and you could just feel it. And you are definitely doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, thank you. That's very nice to hear. Thank you. I just strive to bring the best to the community. So
You do
I
just
love
that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I absolutely love that. And thank you so much for doing all of the work that you're doing and living your truth, living your dharma, doing what you feel is right within you. And there's so many people that are wanting to do those things, but then they're afraid of this or that and too many thoughts in the head. And what's a piece of advice that you would give to somebody like that bravery that you took on walking in and just getting into, that business visions and dreams when people were telling you otherwise. I just love that you were strong in yourself and going forward. So, what's advice that you would give somebody that is looking to better serve the world in what they feel in their hearts that they want to do?
Well, when you ask that question, it makes me think of my dad. Because when I was a little girl, he used to always say the most important thing in life is happiness.
Mm.
It wasn't money, it wasn't anything, it was happiness. Find your joy, he would tell me. If you don't like what you're doing, change it. And so that would be my advice to people. It's just life. Enjoy it. Get out there and do what you want to do with it. Nobody's going to do it for you. In fact, some people will hold you back because you start casting a shadow on them once you start doing your work.
Oh, I love that.
Just the way it is, So grab your life by the
I
You can say it. Take
know
it
what you're
grab
going
podcast.
your yep, just grab it, grab that brass ring and go for it.
That's
And
good.
just enjoy it. Have fun while you're doing it. That's all I can really say. I mean, if you need encouragement, reach out to me. I'm great at encouraging people. I could find many people that I've met here that I helped pull out of the closet and said, you know what, you're amazing at that. Come on, you're going to do this. And they're like, oh, and then after they do it, they come and they thank me for pushing them to their limit.
There you go.
So that's another one of them. I have several purposes, I guess, but I've been told by a lot of people that I manifest like nobody's business. They never met anybody in their life that manifested the way I did. And I think it's because I just do it. I just do it.
Here you go.
And I have faith and trust that I'm doing the right thing. And so the right thing is going to fall where it needs to go. And then that's it pretty much. I think my life is sweet every day. Okay. Every day throughout the course of the day, I say gratitudes for everything,
Yes.
anything that comes in my mind. I'm grateful for this Berkey water in my copper cup.
Yes.
Just things like that. I'm just grateful. I walk in gratitude. I'm going to say I walk in gratitude most of the time. Nice. And I think that helps. That's part of the manifesting. Being grateful ahead of time and staying in the moment as much as you can, because this is where we manifest from, the present. Mm-hmm. It's a gift. That's why they call it the present. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
I think that's a great outlook to, to say with anybody listening when you do, say gratitude affirmations every day and about everything in your life, it comes back around and you just see life from a different point of view. And you're
Yes.
totally correct. I love everything you said. And
Thank you.
and where can everybody find you? So I know you have another event coming up in November, which I will be missing because you do it. It always falls around my anniversary.
Okay. Well, I have news about that.
Oh,
I am postponing the November event
oh,
till the spring.
Oh, what is the
I won't
reason?
miss it.
You won't, yep, you won't miss it, but I'm grateful for this opportunity to say this to your audience. I just had to make an executive decision with everything that's going on in Asheville, everything that's going on that's coming up next month, and you know what I'm talking about. Just everything that's been happening in the world right now. I've been, I've been intuitively guided to let's just postpone this. I'm not using the word cancel.
Right.
I got a hold of all my practitioners already, let them know. Those who've already paid, I've already refunded their money. So I am shooting for maybe late March next year.
Okay.
So I'm not quitting. I'm not a quitter.
I know. I know. We know you're not. We just heard your
I'm
story.
more of a, yeah, I'm more of a, it's got to be right. And this hasn't been feeling right to me for over a month. And that's why it's like, I have to make a decision. I can't keep kind of dragging my feet and waiting for the next thing. How am I going to feel about that? So I just decided to just shut her down for right now and refocus a little bit and recreate some things and then bring out something similar, but maybe a little different in the spring.
I
That'll
love
be,
that.
yeah.
I love that, Diane, because it feels like with the shifts that we're going through right now and the world things that we're going through, just taking that moment to just kind of recalibrate and recreate. And in the springtime, just like how the trees go dormant in the wintertime, we
Right.
also, if we can pay attention to the universe and how the universe is flowing and going, why wouldn't we do the same on the human level, right? To be like a tree and just be dormant, grow our roots into the Mother Earth, and then just regrow in the spring because this is the new earth coming up.
It sure is.
It's
It sure
happening.
is.
It's happening at that time. It's divine timing, isn't it?
Yes.
Divine timing.
Mona, that was beautifully said.
Thank
Beautifully
you.
put. Thank you.
Yes,
So
yes.
you've
I
got a
like.
list
I want
of,
to be there. I can't wait.
yeah. So my Facebook page for the business is New Earth Consciousness Expo. And on that page, you will find past events, photos, and information on the practitioners or down in the posts. At the very top of the page in the About section, there's a link to my website, if you will, and it's a Square Up website. So on that website, you will find the 6 or 7 modalities that I offer, from hypnotherapy to access bars, Reiki. I'm also dabbling in reading cards now. And I combine some things, like I'll combine an aura session with a card read. And so those are all listed on that little Square Up website that I created a while back.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thank
That's
you
how you.
so much for being here today, telling your story. I just love you, so I appreciate you doing this.
Well, thank you. I love you too. And I love you too, Mona.
Oh, I love you too, Diane. Thank you so much for being here. And you have touched my life when you did a reading for me a couple years back. So thank you so much. I
Oh,
look
you're
forward to
very
seeing you in
welcome.
the spring and the new earth coming up.
Yeah.
Yay.
Y'all have a beautiful